Good Saturday afternoon to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich, and this is your outlook for December 7th and December 8th, 2013, the weekend forecast. And we're going to start off with the GFS today because we have another wintry event that's going to be affecting the area over the next day or so, and then maybe another one on Tuesday. We'll get into both of those systems right now. This is the latest 12Z GFS, and this is a look at the Mid-Atlantic, of course. This is Sunday early afternoon, showing some of the southern areas getting into some snow. Wouldn't be surprised if you get some snow up here. A first piece of energy that kind of breaks off of this and moves in the morning hours here. Just some light snow out ahead of it. But then that quickly dissipates. I think you might have a situation where a little piece of energy kind of heads up in this direction here early in the morning, but then you have a break, and the main batch is going to come in the afternoon. So that does happen. Don't be alarmed. That's what we're actually expecting to happen. So if it does stop and people are thinking it's over, it's probably not. Here's a Sunday afternoon. Again, early afternoon is starting to move into our southern parts of our coverage area here. And the next frame here, this is Monday evening, and it's still snowing up in this area here on the GFS there, and then you're starting to see down here some significant icing that's going to build. I'm very concerned with this area here, right here, and that does go into our coverage area, at least in the southern portions here. I think you're going to be dealing with a big ice storm here, especially as you get out towards central PA by Harrisburg, out down to York, and over in central PA here. This is going to be probably the worst of it. This icing will move up to the northeast after this point, but I don't think you're going to have as long of a prolonged period of icing up in these areas. But we'll have to keep an eye on that. It's a very close call, and I'd rather err on the side of the caution when we're dealing with ice. See the next frame here. You can see that heavy freezing rain moving over our area here, and that goes straight up from northern Virginia all the way up into now northeast PA, changing over here. This is 1 o'clock in the morning on Monday, early Monday, and then you see all central PA is also in this freezing rain as well. I think the GFS is doing a pretty good job of this, handling that, but it does have it going over to rain for at least the southern portions here. It's showing rain here. The only problem I have with this is you got some of the notorious areas that hold on to cold the longer, the valleys. So you go to Lehigh Valley and points northwest. I think from this line and points north, I think we stay freezing here for a while, especially in areas, in the valley locations up in here, because where that hold on the air, when the warm air advection rides over top of the cold air, you can get that it falling as raining and freezing on contact because temperatures are still below freezing. So we're going to have to watch it. I do think from the Lehigh Valley and points northwards where you have that problem with icing still yet lingering on Monday morning, but we'll have to hope for the best on that one. Let's go to the NAM high res now. This is that piece of energy I was talking about in the morning here. Now it's showing here that this is falling as rain on this chart here. That's incorrect. And this is all freezing down here. The blue is actually snow. These reds here and yellows are actually freezing rain and sleet. But it's showing green here, but your 32-degree line is sitting like this. As you can see it kind of waving like this. This is your 32-degree line. It means everything from this point south and east is above freezing, so you would just have plain rain in these areas here. But this is showing precipitation here, falling as rain. That is incorrect. That would be snow. And, of course, this is 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. So, like I said, you're going to have a little piece of energy. You see that moving off to the northeast here. Not a big deal, but it is going to be snow as it moves over up to the northeast here. And this would be for points north and west of 95 from Philadelphia up towards Allentown and into the Poconos here that you'll have in the morning hours. But then I do think you're going to get a little bit of a break in the afternoon. You can see that break here. There's really not much going on here. But then as we head towards the evening, we're going to have the more stuff moving in here. And you can see that here. It's now finally showing snow moving northward. And that is going to continue. You see the snow building here over the evening hours on Sunday, and that's what I expect to happen. Again, we go into the morning hours here. This is what I'm concerned about, because you get into early morning hours here on Saturday. Here's Saturday morning at 7 p.m. Look where your 32-degree line is here. Again, you got the 32-degree line is sitting right like this, so it's going right through the Lehigh Valley and into Sussex, New Jersey. I think this area up here remains below freezing, so we still have some freezing rain to deal with, especially in the valley areas. So you might have some areas that are up in higher elevations that would actually have less freezing rain in this situation. You might have a situation where Mount Pocono is actually warmer than Allentown. Just because of the valley, being in the valley, it's just the cold air gets trapped in there. So I do think I have icing problems again from the Lehigh Valley and points northwest on Monday morning. But we're not dealing with a lot of precipitation yet. But this does have the warm air eventually wins out, and this will move northward in here, and you have just plain rain here on Monday, I think, as everybody goes over to rain eventually. But you could have that in the morning. So just watch out for that. Here's the Canadian model. This is an hour-by-hour breakdown. I'm just going to run through this here. You see the snow here, but you see the pink starting to move in here. Our area here, the pinks are actually sleet and freezing, and the red is freezing rain. Prolonged period of that before the Canadian does the same thing and turns that over to rain during the day. Good to go to the GFS now. This is actually a breakdown here of what we're looking at for ice pellets, the probability of having ice pellets. You can see that's actually sleet. That's in this area here. Here's your probability of receiving freezing rain. You see a big area here of extensive freezing rain up in this area here, and this is your rain area. Of course, when it changes over Monday, much of our area goes over to rain. And here's snow. Now this snow actually is just showing to going up to northeast PA. I think it expands a little bit further north than that, but we're only talking about minor accumulations at the front end, maybe like an inch or two. Then it goes over to the ice here. Here's another system we want to also mention here. This is Tuesday. The NAM, GFS, and the Canadian models have been showing this idea of a little bit of piece of energy coming on Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening, and it basically has the axis of the heaviest stuff right along I-95. So the areas we get gypped this time would actually get it a little bit further southeast here. Some lighter snows up here from the Lehigh Valley and points northwest, but as you get down within 50 miles northwest and southeast of this corridor here, I think you get a moderate band of 1 to 2 inches of snow if the GFS, NAM, and Canadian models are correct. Of course, the European model does not have that right now, but it's kind of on its own. And the last storm it really didn't do so well on. So we're gonna stick with a consensus here. Right now we're having at least a mention of that in our forecast, just because that chance of light snow is showing up here on those three models. We'll follow this weekend. Please stay tuned to the Facebook page, and we'll update in rapid fashion as soon as something breaks. And we expect our final call map to go out on the Sunday event on Sunday morning. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich, and that is your outlook for the weekend, December 7th and December 8th, 2013. Have a great one.